Hi, I'm Chas from chascrazycreations, and today I'm going to take something I found for free on the side of the road and update it. Let's get started. I found this little drawer set on the side of the road for free, so it jumped right into my car. It had been painted a couple times and was in pretty rough shape. I grabbed my Wagner paint eater and sanded away at the paint. The Wagner paint eater is amazing and it just takes the paint right off. I sanded off the front of each drawer as well as the entire base of the unit. The top revealed some formica underneath. Once the entire piece had been sanded, it was time to clean it up. So I used crud cutter to wipe the whole thing down. I like crud cutter because it also helps find places that you might not have seen. So if a piece of tape or something is sticking there or some sticky residue, it'll help clean it all off. Now it was ready to be painted, and I used Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color Sheepskin. I painted the front of all 3 drawers with the sheepskin paint. I wanted to do something different to the front of the drawers, and I didn't want the yellow paint to come through. So I painted the sheepskin onto the front of the drawers so that I'd have a lighter background to work with. Now it was time to paint the main unit, and for this I would use Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color black. I like Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint because it is water-based, so it goes on easy and it cleans up easy. It went on nice, and it's also self-leveling, which I love. I was able to paint the entire unit with 1 coat of black paint, and that was enough. I didn't need to paint the back side as it was open and would be against the wall. I let the paint dry completely before moving on to the next step. Next, for the front of the drawers, I would be using some fabric, and I found it on clearance for $2. I started by putting the drawer face down on a piece of butcher paper, and I used a pencil to trace the drawer so that I could build a template with the butcher paper. I next cut out the template so that I'd be able to use it with the fabric. I placed my template onto my fabric, and I used my fabric scissors to cut it out. I did learn that the fabric was a little wiggly, so what I ended up doing for the other drawers was traced with a pencil onto the fabric and then cut it out that way. I did this to each drawer, so I had 3 pieces of fabric. Next, I would be using Mod Podge, which I absolutely love, and it's water-based as well, so easy to work with. I painted the Mod Podge onto the drawer front first. It goes on white and dries clear. Once the drawer front was done, I carefully laid my fabric onto the drawer until I got it lined up the way I wanted to, and then pressed down onto the Mod Podge and made sure I got it nice and flat. I then placed a layer of the Mod Podge on top of the fabric. This would seal the fabric on top so that it has a nice adhesion to the drawer and a nice water-resistant coating on the front. I repeated this process to all 3 of the drawers. First, I placed the Mod Podge onto the drawer front, then I laid the fabric on top of the Mod Podge, and then I put the top coat of Mod Podge onto the fabric. Once I had done this to all 3 drawers, I went ahead and let that all dry completely before moving on to the next step. While those were drying, I did the same process to the tabletop. The formica was scratched up and really wasn't salvageable, so I painted the Mod Podge on top of the formica. I then added the fabric to the top of the formica on the Mod Podge, and I sealed the top with another layer of Mod Podge. Now this is water resistant, so if you wanted it to be waterproof, you could easily use dishwasher safe Mod Podge, and multiple coats following the directions help with water resistance as well. Once everything was dry, it was time to put the whole unit back together. Here it is all finished, and I absolutely love how it turned out. Something that was well loved and falling apart now has new life. I hope this inspires you to take something free and flip it so that it fits for your needs in your home. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel and my blog, and be sure to ring the bell on YouTube so you'll be notified of future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.